"Madam," said the young man, addressing Zobeide, "if you wish to know how I lost my right eye, I will have to tell you the story of my entire life. I was just a baby when the king, my father, noticed my unusual sharpness for my age. He turned his thoughts to my education. I was taught to read and write, and then to learn the Quran, the basis of our holy religion. To understand it better, I read with my tutors the ablest commentators on its teaching and memorized all the traditions about the Prophet, gathered from his friends. I also learned history, poetry, versification, geography, chronology, and all the outdoor exercises a prince should excel in. But what I loved most was writing Arabic characters, and I soon surpassed my masters, gaining a reputation that reached as far as India. The Sultan of the Indies, curious to see a young prince with such talents, sent an ambassador to my father with rich presents and an invitation to visit his court. My father, eager to secure the friendship of such a powerful monarch and believing travel would improve my manners and open my mind, gladly accepted. In a short time, I set out for India with the ambassador, attended only by a small suite due to the journey's length and the bad roads. We carried 10 camels laden with rich presents for the Sultan. We had been traveling for about a month when one day we saw a cloud of dust moving swiftly towards us. As it came near, we found it concealed a band of 50 robbers. Our men barely numbered half, and with the camels, there was no use in fighting. We tried to overawe them by informing them who we were and where we were going. The robbers, however, laughed and attacked us brutally. I defended myself to the last, wounded though I was, but seeing resistance was hopeless and the ambassador and our followers made prisoners, I spurred my horse and rode away as fast as I could, till the poor beast fell dead from a wound. I managed to jump off without injury and looked around to see if I was pursued. For the moment, I was safe. The robbers were all engaged in quarreling over their booty. I found myself in a new country and dared not return to the main road. My wound was slight, and after binding it up, I walked on till I reached a cave at the foot of a mountain. I passed the night in peace, making supper off some fruits I had gathered. I wandered for a whole month, unsure of where I was going, till I found myself on the outskirts of a beautiful city, watered by winding streams, enjoying eternal spring. Delighted at the prospect of human contact, I was somewhat damped by my appearance. My face and hands were burned nearly black, my clothes in rags, and my shoes abandoned. I entered the town and stopped at a tailor's shop to inquire where I was. The man, seeing I was better than my condition, invited me to sit, and I told him my story. The tailor listened, but his reply increased my trouble. "Beware," he said, "of telling anyone what you have told me. The prince who governs this kingdom is your father's greatest enemy and will be overjoyed to find you in his power." I thanked the tailor for his counsel and accepted his offer of food and lodging. In a few days, I recovered from my hardships. The tailor then inquired if there was anything I could do for a living, knowing princes of our religion learn a trade. I replied that I was educated as a grammarian and poet, but my great gift was writing. "All that is useless here," said the tailor. "Take my advice, put on a short coat, and go into the woods to cut firewood, which you can sell in the streets. You will earn your living and wait for better times. The hatchet and cord shall be my present." This counsel was distasteful, but I adopted it. The next morning, I set out with poor woodcutters, introduced by the tailor. Even on the first day, I cut enough wood to sell for a decent sum. Soon, I became more expert and repaid the tailor all he had lent me. I had been a woodcutter for more than a year when one day I wandered further into the forest than ever before and reached a green glade. While hacking at the root of a tree, I beheld an iron ring fastened to a trapdoor. I cleared the earth, pulled up the door, and found a staircase. I descended, carrying my hatchet for protection. At the bottom, I discovered a huge palace, brilliantly lit, with a long gallery supported by jasper pillars, ornamented with golden capitals. Down this gallery, a lady came to meet me, so beautiful, I forgot everything else. I hastened towards her and bowed low. "Who are you? A man or a genius?" she asked. "A man, madam," I replied. "By what accident do you come here?" She sighed. "I have been here for 25 years, and you are the first man to visit me." Emboldened by her beauty, I replied, "Madam, I am grateful for this meeting. It may console me in my sorrow, and perhaps enable me to make your lot happier." And I told her who I was and how I had come there. "Alas, Prince," she sighed, "you guessed right. I am an unwilling prisoner in this gorgeous place. I am the daughter of the king of the Ebony Isle. On my wedding day, I was snatched by a genius and brought here. I wept and resisted, but time teaches submission. If clothes and jewels could content me, I have them in plenty. Every 10th day, for 25 years, I receive a visit from the genius. If I need his help, I touch a talisman at the entrance of my chamber. It is still 5 days to his next visit. Stay with me as my guest." Dazzled by her beauty, I accepted. The princess had me conducted to a bath and provided a rich dress befitting my rank. A feast of delicate dishes was served in a room hung with embroidered Indian fabrics. The next day, at dinner, I could no longer contain myself and implored the princess to break her bonds and return to the world. "What you ask is impossible," she answered. "Stay here with me and we can be happy. You only need to go to the forest every 10th day when I expect the genius. He is very jealous and will not suffer a man near me." "Princess," I replied, "it is only fear of the genius that makes you act like this. I dread him so little I mean to break his talisman. Awful as you think him, he shall feel my arm's weight." And I vowed to stamp out his race. The princess, realizing the consequences, entreated me not to touch the talisman. "If you do, it will be our ruin," she said. "I know genie better than you." But the wine I had drunk confused my brain. I kicked the talisman, and it fell into pieces. The air darkened, a fearful noise was heard, and the palace shook. Sobered, I understood what I had done. "Princess, what is happening?" "Fly, or you are lost," she exclaimed, forgetting her own terrors. I dashed up the staircase but was too late. The palace opened, and the genius appeared, turning angrily to the princess. "What is the matter that you sent for me?" "A pain in my heart," she replied. "Oblige me to seek aid." Feeling faint, I slipped and fell against the talisman. "That is all." "You lie," cried the genius. "How did this hatchet and those shoes get here?" "I never saw them before," she answered. "You came in a hurry and may have picked them up without knowing." The genius replied with insults and blows. I heard the princess's shrieks, and having put on my old clothes, lifted the trap and returned to the forest, full of shame and sorrow. The tailor, worried at my absence, was delighted to see me. I kept silent about my adventure and retired to lament in secret. My host entered, saying, "There is an old man downstairs with your hatchet and slippers. He found out where you lived and brought them to you." I changed color, my legs trembled. The tailor noticed my confusion when the old man appeared with my hatchet and shoes. "I am a genius," he said, "son of the daughter of Eblis, prince of the genii. Are these not yours?" Without waiting for an answer, he seized me and darted into the air, dropping towards the earth. When he touched the ground, he rapped it with his foot. It opened, and we were in the enchanted palace, in the presence of the beautiful princess. But now she lay on the ground, covered in blood, weeping bitterly. "Traitor, is this man your lover?" the genius cried. She looked sadly at me. "I never saw him before," she answered slowly. **** what? You owe all your sufferings to him, and yet you dare say he is a stranger." "But if he is a stranger, ***, she replied. ***, why should I lie for him? I assure you I have never seen him before." "Well," he cried, turning to me, ***, you also dare to say you do not know her." "Alas, sir," I answered, ***, I am dying from pain and wounds. How could I cause the lady's sufferings never having seen her before. "If you both lie," cried the genius, asterisk, this sword will make you speak. He stripped us of our clothes, whipped us till our flesh hung in ribbons, and said, asterisk, speak the truth, or I will kill you both. Overcome by terror, the princess confessed. "You are right," she sobbed. Asterisk, tried to deceive you. "But this man is indeed my lover. Since I am in your power, do what you will." "You shameful woman," he cried. Asterisk, you shall be punished as you deserve." Then, turning to me, he said, "And as for you, your punishment shall be lighter. The hatred I feel for this woman makes me treat you more mercifully. Take your choice. Either receive instant death or have your right eye torn out." I looked at the poor princess, and too weak to choose, fell on my knees before the genius. Asterisk, "Master, spare me the sight of death. I will endure anything but that." "Since you beg," he replied, "I will grant your request." He then pierced my right eye and put out the light of it. I fainted from the pain, but he revived me with the aid of a kind of liquor that he had in a bottle. This done, he turned to the princess. "You shall not escape punishment," he said, and turning her into a gazelle, led her away by a rope he had fastened round her neck. What had happened left me so weak that I was unable to walk. I crawled out of the palace and dragged myself back to the city, where the tailor took me in and cared for me as though I were his son. "Friend," he said, asterisk, "you will never be fit for work again. I am old and have no children. I will adopt you and give you my shop, so you can earn your living." I thanked him, and he gave me the shop, while he went to live in a little house he had bought. For some months, I tried to carry on the trade, but at last, finding I could no longer work, I sold the shop. With the money, I traveled from town to town, trying to find the genius and the princess. One day, being very tired, I lay down to rest by the side of a fountain and fell asleep. I awoke to find a good-looking young man in splendid clothes watering his horse. "Come, brother," he said, asterisk, eat with me. "You look like a stranger and should not be alone." Ashamed of my rags, I thanked him and began to eat. The young man saw I had only one eye and said, asterisk, be Allah, "Brother, how did you lose your eye?" "I am sorry to say," I replied, asterisk, "that the same fate befell me that has taken away one of yours." "Brother," he replied, asterisk, "do not grieve for me, for I have only myself to blame. I am a prince, and my name is Baba Abdallah. As for my tale, it is strange enough to repay your trouble in listening."